It's 5 o'clock. It's Tuesday, May the 10th, and this is the Photography Junkie. Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. What is the first of my live shows? So no doubt I'm bound to cock stuff up at some point or another. I wanted to do a show yesterday, but it was too fucking hot, and my room was just an entire furnace. So I had no intention of actually doing it then. Like I said, this is the first live show for the podcast, so if anybody's watching and wants to chime in, you will see over in the side there a chat option. If you send a message through on the chat, I will get it, and I've already got somebody come through, and just to share it out, it's my mate Tony. It's alright mate, looking cool, that's great. And it's kind of how the show goes, really. So I'll get on with the show and be awkward as usual. So first up in the show, On One have announced a new photo raw editor due to come out in the autumn of this year, and basically I've looked at some of the videos for this, and it's super fast, and it uses all of the grunt, and it's basically been written from the ground up on for this. And like I said, it comes out in fall, as the Americans call it, or autumn as we call it. In terms of usage, I've just on their website now, and it's got non-destructive editing. It's got an entirely new raw engine, and it's also got portrait retouching built in. So it's going to be interesting to actually use this once it's come up. I've looked at some of the videos, and this thing just uses all of the grunt of your processing power. So there's no waiting around for raw files to load. So I think it's going to be quite useful for me to have a little play on. Of course, all the links are in the show notes. I just bring up what it looks like. It's kind of similar in some ways that Lightroom's got set out, but it's, for anyone that's familiar with On One software, it actually fits right in. And the good thing about it is it actually runs either as a standalone thing or as a plugin, so you can fit it into your existing workflow or create an entirely new one for it. If anyone's got anything that they want to say about it, feel free. But it's also got the skin retouching as part of it as well, so something different. Yes, let me know what you think in the messages. Just coming up next. So Tony's asked, will it be free? No, it's not going to be free. They haven't released the price just yet. At a guess, I reckon it's going to be around the 100 quid mark. Just judging by the rest of the On One software. So next up, there's only 3 today. It's only going to be a short show. I wanted to basically test out the system and see how it worked and see whether or not people like it or not. What do you think? What do you think to how it looks? I spent a long time actually setting it up, but I kind of like it. So next up, for those people that like Lens Baby, Lensbaby have announced a new lens for them, and basically it's a 60mm lens with all sorts of swirly bokeh, and it's kind of based on the Petzval lens system, and it's available for the Nikon F mount, the Canon EF mount, and Sony E mounts. They recommend full frame on it, so you get the full swirliness of the bokeh. What do you think? Do you think that it looks like it's a Scott's just message saying it's too cool for him? But it's yeah, I quite like the swirly bokeh. I think it's going to be one of those things, a bit like a fisheye lens it's quite easily overdone, but for those sort of special moments, I think it's very tempting, and it's going to come in at $279 US, so that's roughly about 200 quid UK, and it's an all metal design. But you can also get the actual twist lens element to go in existing Lensbaby products. So, do you think you're gonna buy one? Do you think you're something worth checking out? Personally, I kind of like the swirliness of it. For a speciality lens, it's certainly tempting for me. So yeah, like I said, it's just a short show today. Scott's just come up and said it may look good in bright sunlight. Yeah, the actual bokeh effects on it. If you have a look at this image here, it actually stretches the bokeh as well, so you don't get a uniformly round bokeh on it, or bokeh, as it's actually supposed to be pronounced. Yeah, the price isn't too bad, I don't think, considering some of the lenses, and it does look kind of nice as well. Just on the website at the moment, in the show notes when this comes out, then there will be a link to the website for that. So on to my last story of the day. Samyang has made its first step into autofocus lenses, and this is their first autofocus lenses to come out in the company's 20-year history, and they are going to be for the Sony E-mount system, and they have been configured to work for both contract and phase detect cameras. There's no price on them yet, but they look absolute beasts of lenses with 67mm filter thread on them, and they've been really knocking it out of the park recently. They're also get branded as Turkina lenses as well, so it's, if you see that coming up, it's going to be certainly interesting to check out. Obviously not for those people that don't shoot Sony, but for me personally, I think they've been actually knocking it out of the park quality wise recently, so it should be interesting. So yeah, quick show, and just to basically test in the system and see what people think. So I'm going to say thank you to Scott for chiming in. Thank you for Depth Charge Stu. Thank you for Tony. And it was great to have you as part of the show. Feel free to leave any comments, and also thanks to Hazel for for chiming in at the last moment there. So that was the show. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a message in the comments. So thanks for tuning in.